the earth's rupture and the skeletons of the dead. As Layla tried to escape the forest, the ground began to shake beneath her feet. The earthquake that struck the area was stronger than anything she had ever experienced. The earth suddenly split open, revealing ancient skeletons, their bones cracked and eroded. The skeletons moved as if brought back to life, their hollow eyes shining with a mysterious glow. The skeletons were not just moving, they were heading straight for Layla. The sounds of bones cracking and scraping against the ground pierced the silence, as if the souls inhabiting them were furious. One of the skeletons stood before her, slowly raising its bony hand before slamming it down toward the ground, causing the earth to crack and swallow the surrounding trees. The cursed magic. At the same time, Adele found himself trapped in a mysterious cave, filled with ancient symbols carved into the walls. These symbols were linked to an ancient magic believed to have been sealed away for centuries. A pale blue glow emanated from the carvings, as if calling forth spirits and demons to return to this world. As he tried to escape, a gap appeared in the wall, and a shadowy figure emerged through it. It was a djinn, its eyes burning with rage. The creature began whispering incomprehensible words, and with each whisper the ground shook even more, opening beneath Adele's feet. The emergence of the djinn. With the increasing magical rituals in the forest, the powers of the djinn began to awaken. The djinn moved freely, surrounding everything, appearing and disappearing in the blink of an eye. Neither Layla nor Adele could see them clearly, but they felt their terrifying presence. The winds carried the sounds of their wicked laughter, and their ghostly bodies materialized for moments before vanishing into the darkness. In the peak of terror, the djinn began to possess the moving bodies. The corpses and skeletons that were already in motion started to act more violently, as if the djinn were using them as instruments of destruction. Each time a djinn appeared, their footsteps cracked the ground, and magical sparks created small explosions that toppled everything around them. Black magic and the blood of demons. Black magic began to spread through the abandoned village. The cursed atmosphere engulfed the area, and rivers flowed with blood. The houses of the village that had not been destroyed by landslides faced strange ruin. Stones crumbled, doors opened and closed for no reason, and distant screams echoed throughout. Layla and Adele were racing against time. An ancient magic began to regain its power through the souls of the dead. Each time the djinn rituals intensified, the earth split open further, swallowing buildings and forests alike. The massive crack that opened in the village became a gateway to the underworld, and djinn and demons emerged from it in great numbers, ready to turn the earth into a battlefield. Turning to the ancient sorcerer, Layla realized that the only way to survive was to learn more about the curse and the magic that unleashed this madness. She and Adele headed to a distant cave where an ancient sorcerer was said to live, the only one capable of dealing with these forces. The sorcerer was surrounded by circles of complex magic, and his face was hidden behind a mask made of bones. The sorcerer said in a cold voice, "Forces have awakened that should not have been unleashed. The djinn and the ancient magic are linked to a single spirit that must be destroyed." He pointed to an ancient book covered in mysterious symbols. Those rituals were the only solution to stop the djinn before they destroyed the world. The final battle with the djinn. As Layla and Adele began performing the rituals, the djinn moved with even greater force. The moving skeletons headed towards them, the ground split further, and the sky began to rain blood. The sounds surrounding them grew louder and more terrifying, and the winds battered them from every direction. In the final moment, as they prepared to unleash the counter-magic, one of the skeletons exploded before them, and the bones shattered into sharp fragments, causing deep cracks in the ground. Layla felt the earth shifting beneath her feet, as if something larger was moving in the depths. The end of hell. When the magic was complete, a battle erupted between the djinn and the very forces of the earth. Trees began to move, mountains trembled, and graves opened wide. The djinn slowly started to withdraw, but they did not leave easily. One of the greater djinn attempted to possess Adele again. This time his body was shattering from within, the cracking bones and screams of pain were deafening. In the end, the djinn were expelled, but they left the earth utterly destroyed. The villages vanished, and the souls that had been trapped for centuries were freed, but at a heavy cost. Blood covered everything, and the human world changed forever. The innovative plot, the ghost of the abandoned village. Introduction. In a remote small village, a legend told of the ghost of a woman named Aisha, who lost her life under mysterious circumstances many years ago. It is said that her spirit wanders at night, seeking revenge on those who wronged her. However, no one dared to approach that village, where strange things happened. Frequent power outages, screams coming from the darkness, and the disappearance of the villagers one by one. When Layla and Adele decided to head to the abandoned village in search of answers, everything seemed eerily quiet, but tension was rising in the air. As they wandered through the dark streets of the village, they began to hear whispers echoing around them, as if the hanging spirits were calling them. The darkness was thick, and when they entered an old house, they found pictures of Aisha and the painful events of her life. Stories revolved around the community's injustice toward her because of her forbidden love. Layla realized that Aisha's spirit was not just seeking revenge but was also looking for someone to help her find peace. Confronting the spirits. As the story progressed, Adele and Layla discovered that there were other beings trapped in that village. These spirits manipulated time and space, making it difficult for them to escape. The houses transformed into mazes, and the ground began to crack beneath their feet as if trying to swallow them. One night, while they were trying to rest in one of the old houses, they heard a scream coming from outside. They looked out the window to see a strange creature heading toward them. It resembled Aisha's ghost but was distorted, and its eyes burned with hatred. Summoning the spirits. As the horror events escalated, Adele and Layla discovered that the ghost could only be expelled through ancient rituals. They gathered some necessary tools to summon the spirits in an attempt to search for the truth. But things spiraled out of control and the ghost grew stronger. Each time they tried to communicate with Aisha's spirit, the atmosphere thickened, and the winds whipped through the trees. Corpses began to emerge from the graves, moving toward them, and the screams grew louder. At that moment, they realized they were not the only ones in this place. There were other dark forces seeking to take control of the world. The catastrophe. The catastrophe asterisk. When they attempted to summon the spirits at the peak of the magic, the unexpected happened. The ground tore open beneath their feet, and the bodies of the dead began to move in a terrifying way. At that time, the forces of hell awakened and began to spread throughout the village. The beings that had been trapped for decades began to emerge, and screams rose from all directions. As things descended into chaos, Adele realized he could use the power of magic to communicate with Aisha. He tried to focus all his energy, and when he succeeded in summoning her spirit, he saw Aisha in the form of a blue aura pulsating with pain. She told him she needed his help to free the other souls and end the curse that had befallen her. The final revenge. In the end, as the atmosphere ignited with the sounds of screams, Adele and Layla began their final ritual to free the souls. But the distorted ghost of Aisha took revenge fiercely, and a battle erupted between the upper and dark forces. The ground split, the skeletons emerged from its depths and began to attack them. When they finally managed to summon Aisha's spirit, her power drew from the past pains and unleashed immense energy to free the other souls. But this came at a price. The place was torn apart, fires erupted, and the houses collapsed. This revenge left permanent scars on the village, where it vanished from sight, becoming a mystery buried beneath the earth. Conclusion. In the end, Layla and Adele had the choice between staying or leaving. By choosing to leave, they discovered that the horrors of the village still lived on in memories, and the souls that suffered still sought justice. Aisha's story became a new legend, but it served as a constant reminder that the world is filled with terrifying secrets and that the demons still plot for a second return.